Yeah, I want to ask you a question now. Since you said mentioned about the police following you and things like that.
Okay.
Now, is there any possible way? Now, tell me before I come to that question. How did you, in designing this game, what was the feedback? Was it a two-way thing where you got somebody to have a look at it and then made developments from feedback, or was it something that you had in your mind and that you wanted to put it into a game? How did it? How
Actually,
did that work?
when we were first designing the game, we didn't have the. I mean, we took the map, and then if you come to my office right now, you can see that the map is still there. You can see all the places that we have put in the game. We have taken the actual map, but I mean, you get these roads which are curved. So I mean, while we put the curved roads onto the game, but problem is that once you start playing the game, it's very difficult to control the curves when you're driving. So we had to like straighten some of the roads.
Okay.
So that was that's why I said it's almost identical map, but I mean all the perspective, yes. So you get perpendicular directions.
Okay.
So we had to straighten those things out, because when we gave the curved roads to be played, it was very difficult because they were like going like this,
physically turning the phone as
what
well.
I wanted was they should be able to play it in one hand. So even if you're going on the bus like this, you should still be able to control the vehicle. Whereas if I had put all the curved roads, then you have to use both hands. So I took that also into consideration when we gave it to a few. I mean, some of my past students, I gave it to them and asked them, what do you think? And they said, that I mean, while we were giving it to them, while they were playing it, we realized that these kinds of difficulties are there, but they love the game and they love the idea. So.
Gihan, a bit of a tricky question, Gihan. Now, parents tend to see. Once again, I'm coming back to the same question I asked you earlier. Is that especially with teenage children, sometimes they don't know the limit where to stop, and probably when parents are not around at home, they tend to get on to this game and level by level they try to achieve it. What is your role as a promoter, as a promoter trying to promote this game? What is your responsibility towards these kids who probably get into an addiction with your game? How do you take this very controversial issue into consideration, Gihan?
Yes. Basically, I mean, games can be divided into different categories. The games that we have created are called casual games. So you don't I mean, it's up to 3 levels. So once you play the game, you can accumulate money, and then you can continue the game. But it's not like a very addictive game. Whereas, for example, if we take like a first-person shooter game, those are very addictive games. So I mean, you have different categories of games. So obviously, the parent should be aware of what their children are, using what they're playing. So I mean, they should keep an eye on for what they're doing. Basically, with us, with our game, we also tend to actually motivate the children to play the game often we have a high score. So I mean, that's one of the ways in which we try to make sure that I mean, some of our sponsors might ask, I mean, they'll play it once and they'll quit. But we have this way in which you can actually normally when we play games, we look at high score. Everybody wants to put their name on top. So we have this high score in our game as well, and that is where we not only have I mean, once you finish the game, you get a high score, and not only will the high score be on your phone, but also it will be on a person's on our website as well. And if you're like in the top 10, your high score would be on another person's phone as well.
So basically, basically, Gihan, this is not going to be as bad as the PS2 or games like that, where you get a little free time, even if you're traveling by bus. Okay, I mean, it's better. It's better to focus on something, on a game which also, mind you, develops your brain on concentration. So you might as well play a game while you're having a little bit of free time, and in a positive positive angle, you know, try to focus on the game and look at getting your attention into one place, especially when there are a lot of disturbances around. And now, tell me about this launch that is going to happen in the very near future, about this 3D effect game.
Right. Yes.
Now, you had the first edition, then you had the second edition,
yes.
and now you're going in for the
third.
third. Now, tell me the differences between the first and the second,
okay.
and what you're going to introduce.
Right. When we introduced the first one, it was just a single player option.
Okay.
Whereas once we introduced it, everybody loved it. I mean, people, because we gave it for free without any restriction on any network. It was downloaded by not only people here, also Sri Lankans abroad as well. So, I mean, they were putting on forums that they love the game, they like to play while they're going on, you know, tubes and things like that. They're playing a Colombo game.
So they're in a subway somewhere in Singapore or
yes,
London, and they're reading about.
So
okay, so that's quite
So I mean, they love the game. They said all the praises, but then also there were a few who wanted something more.
Okay.
And that's when they suggested, okay, I mean, why don't we have it? I have a 2-player option.
Okay.
I want to play this with my friend. I want to be the police and I want to chase this guy. So that's when we, once we launched this, the first one was in August, on the 8th of August 2008. Then in about 5 to 6 months, we decided to launch another game. That's on the Independence Day 2009, where we introduced the 2-player option. So not only would you be able to play go around Colombo, but you can chase your friend in Colombo.
Yeah, if I may interrupt. Now, the first game, is it the game is played while you're connected to the internet, or is it just the procedure of downloading and then you're off the GPRS and then you start playing?
Yes.
And how did the 2 players, was it via Bluetooth or something like that? How did it happen?
Basically, you can download the game in two ways. One is you can directly through your phone you can download it, but then you'll have to pay GPRS cost. It's about 10 to 15 rupees. Also, if you want, you can if you have a data cable, you can even download the game via the internet. So if you have your computer, you can download the game to your computer and then transfer it to your mobile. Then the cost is almost zero, because you're already paying for your internet connection. So you get the game for free. Once you download the game, that's it. You don't have to pay anything at all, and it's there until you delete the game. But in the second option, in the second version, we have this 2-player option, and for that you need to have people about, I think, 10 meters close to each other, and they connect through via Bluetooth. So again, there's no cost associated. Only cost that will incur when you're playing the game is when you're submitting your high score. And do you know how much it's going to cost you? 10 cents. It's going to cost you 10 cents per high score that you submit. So that's less than, you know, what you pay for your SMS.
Now, Gihan, one more question is that when somebody downloads something from the internet, especially to a mobile phone, they are always under the impression that the phone will get overloaded, or there's less memory space and things like that. How is it? How does that happen when downloading your game, especially the 3D effect game? What happens to the phone with regards to the settings of the phone?
Basically, when we started out, we didn't take that into consideration. So our game was initially about 1.5 MB, and that was a huge problem. Even when we approached certain telecom companies, they said, you know, that's too much, you'll have to reduce it somehow. So then we got a way of compressing that, making sure that, you know, we compress all the audio and everything, and we brought it down to a reasonable amount. So about 500 to 600 kilobytes. That is in the 2D game, and you wouldn't be you'll be surprised that, you know, even the 3D game, we are going to keep that target to bring it to about 500 to 600 kilobytes, because some of the actual 3D animations that you see in the game are actually code. So it's not like images being put, but it's more like, you know, you use the code to do the 3D part of it.